What is up, guys? It's your boy Torius, back again with another video. So I'm back again with another video, and today I'm gonna be talking about material. I just realized a bunch of stuff. I'm gonna be talking about material support versus emotional support, right? So smash the like button, comment below what you think, subscribe if you know. Let's get into it. All right. Woo. All right. So, when it comes to like loving, right? There's a book called Love Languages, right? The 5 love languages. And so basically there's like gift giving, there's words of affirmation, there's what the hell are the other ones? There's gift giving, words of affirmation, touch, like feeling, damn, I already forgot the other ones. But basically there's different like love languages, right? Like different ways that people show love. Like you can show love every way. Like if you give someone something, that's showing love, right? But some people, they feel love more. Oh yeah, doing things for them, like not just giving them gifts, but doing things for them, right? Like doing favors. That's one. So I'm missing one. But when it comes to showing love to people, like different people have different ways of being loved, like feeling love the most, right? So basically, like some people, they like to be given gifts, and the only way that they feel love is if they're given something, like here you go. And what I was realizing in the beginning of the video was that there's something called Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? So basically, when it comes to the hierarchy of needs, human beings need like somewhere to live, basically, right? Like they need all their essentials met. First, they need food and shelter and I guess community, right? They need all of that shit first, and then after that they can worry about relationships, and after relationships they can worry on like working on their skills and hobbies, and then after that they can work on their well-being, right? Like just like the luxuries. So you got to make sure that all these things are fulfilled first before you go to the next one, right? Like a lot of times we can't, you can't live a luxurious life if you don't have a job. You know what I mean? Like you can't want your well-being first. I mean, I don't know. It's not necessarily well-being, but it's like your I guess highest purpose. You can't be an artist unless you have a job, right? Like you can't really sustain you can't sustain yourself unless you have some type of income, some type of because if you're homeless and you're trying to do some shit, like you don't even have a roof over your head or like any means, like how it's hard. Like you could do it, but it's harder, right? So once you have all these things set up, then it makes life a lot easier. That's why in like third world countries and shit, right? In third world countries, they're not like they don't have like the crazy shit that we have, like American Idol and like all the tech companies and all that shit, right? Because they don't even have food. Like their country, their people are starving. Their people are dying in the streets from wars and shit. So it's like they don't give a fuck about who can sing the best when niggas is bombing their fucking cities. You feel me? So they need to make sure that their needs are fulfilled first, right? They need to make sure, I have somewhere to go, I have somewhere to sleep, I have some food to eat, before they can give, like whatever. So it makes sense to me now when I think about it, because in my family, like my mom specifically, she her love language I can see is like gift giving and things being done for her, right? Like from what I've seen, that's like what she appreciates the most. And it makes sense to me because I'm not gonna say like my grandparents are hoarders, but they very much cling to material objects, right? They very much cling to material possessions. And it's a common thing that I see with like Hispanic families and Caribbean families and all these families, right? Because it makes sense to me now that I think about it, that when you give people gifts that grew up in the country, that were like poor and shit, like if I gave my grandma something, she'd very much admire it. She's always asking like, oh, you didn't bring me nothing. For me, I never expect anything. Like I don't care about gifts, to be honest. Like to be like too much, right? I've never been like, I mean, maybe I have, but I've literally never expected anything from anyone. So if you give me a gift, I'll be like, oh, thanks, you know, and keep it moving. But it's like for everyone, like for other people, giving gifts is like, oh my gosh, someone gave me something. And it's like, it makes sense that when you don't really grow up with too much, and you grow up thinking that, like, you know, this might be the last thing that I ever have, that gift giving would be your biggest love language. For me, since I've always had pretty much all my needs met, you know, it's more, I'm not gonna say it's more advanced, but it's more like, for me, I like being told, oh, I love you. I like being, you know, like the touching. I like the, you know, words of affirmation. So like, I don't give a fuck if anyone does anything for me. Like, that doesn't show me that you love me. I kind of expect it. You feel me? Like, that's the only thing I expect. Is like, if I ask someone to do something, that they'll do it. Like, I don't really see it as love, but I just see it as like an expectation. You get me? So it's not even a love language at this point. It's just something. It's like gift giving. It's like, it's not really like, oh, I feel loved by it. It's just like, I expect it to happen. You get me? Like, even though I said like I expect it, like, just like, you know, I never expected anything from anyone. It's like, I don't expect you to give me a gift, right? I don't expect you to be like, oh, I love you, so here's a gift. Like, no, it's just something that's like, this is like the given, right? It's literally the given. It's like, okay, people give gifts, that's whatever, but it's not like this whole big thing, like Christmas per se, right? Like, Christmas comes every single year, so every single year I expect Christmas. So every year it's like, okay, it's Christmas this year, I'm gonna get something. Okay, it's Christmas again this year, I'm gonna get something. So it's like, you expect it. So it's like, when it comes to other people, I don't expect you to like just give me a gift, because I don't give a fuck, because I have Christmas and I have other shit that's got me like jaded to it, I guess. I don't fucking know. But basically, the whole point of the video is because, you know, a lot of times I hear from people that say like, you know, their parents try to buy their love, right? Like, their parents always like, they always use this manipulation tactic, right? That's like, oh, I buy this for you, I buy that for you. You know, I do all this stuff for you, and it's like, this is how you treat me. And it's like, you know, you can buy someone all the fucking shit in the world. It's just like what they say about, it's so funny when parents say that, right? It's like, I bought you this. But then, like especially your mom, right? If your mom's a woman, and it's so funny how like women even say like, oh, I don't care if a guy's rich. That doesn't mean nothing. Like, a dude could be rich and buy her a bunch of shit, but she don't fucking love the nigga. So it's like, why would it be different? You feel me? Like, why? Like, how can you be a woman and expect, you know, just because you buy some shit for someone, that they're gonna fucking love you, when you as a woman understand that women don't love a nigga just because he's rich? Like, yeah, it's women like rich men, but do they fucking get wet as shit and want to fuck the nigga every fucking day? And you know, like, because there's broke niggas that nigga a woman would love, but then there's rich niggas that a woman will use. You feel me? So it's like, it's just funny to me, but it makes sense, right? So just because, you know, like, someone buys something for you, someone does stuff for you, monetary wise, like, yeah, they might not have had that when they were a kid, but, you know, you're not them. So fuck it. Like, if you don't feel bad, don't ever feel bad if your parents are like, oh, you know, all this stuff, all these things that provide for you, yada 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 yada. And it's like, and you know, like, the thing is, it's so funny because when you smash like random girls, you realize that the things that your parents do is kind of good, right? Because I always grew up watching like movies and shit, right? And in movies, you just always expect like the parents to just be parents, right? But then when you smash on a girl that you don't really care about and you never really want to see again, and then you end up having a kid with her, you don't, you know, it makes sense why niggas don't be in their kids' lives, right? It makes sense when they be like, oh, deadbeat dad. It's because, you know, the nigga was just trying to nut. And I mean, you gotta take care of your responsibility. You feel me? Like, if you're responsible enough to have sex, and you're responsible enough to have a kid. You feel me? So basically, you know, but it makes sense, right? Because there's been times where I've almost like I felt like I nutted in the girl, or at least like I felt like sperm was in her, and then I'm just freaking out because I'm just like, I don't really like her, you know, like I ain't really with it. And I could not imagine having a kid with her. Like that would suck. Because then I'll have to see her again, and I don't really want to. And I know that's really shallow, but I just understand it now, and I understand like, oh, that's why dads don't be in their women's lives, because either the girl's really crazy or she's ugly. With that being said, like the video, comment below what you think, subscribe if you're new, and if you have any questions, just DM me on Instagram at Torius at 6 Feet Interviews, and I'll make a video talking about your question. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, to my Patreon, and to donate to my charity at Hand on the Mountain. Link in the description. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.